Hello, Paul Tilla here, CEO and originator of Heal. It's a pleasure to be talking to Spud and Blushlane and being able to give you a little bit of information about Heal. Obviously, we're extremely excited to be working with these two companies and getting what we believe is an optimal food solution to the people who deserve it. And I've been asked to make a bit of a video and just kind of tell you about some of the things that we feel are the benefits of Heal and some of even the products that we compare to in the market, and what are our differentiators, because really we want to empower you with an education that allows you to feel good about sharing it, as well as us both reaping the benefits of that success. So firstly, Heal is a complete plant-based meal replacement. We've worked extremely hard to meet Health Canada's guideline for meal replacement. There's only a few products on the market that you're actually going to find are competitors of ours, the two big ones being Boost and Ensure. There's obviously some key differences I'm going to get into in a little bit just to explain what those are and how that information will help you. But know that this came from a personal experience and a story that this whole team has got behind. My wife had ALS, a diminutive neurological. She's subsequently passed as a result of that disease, but in our battle, we discovered the idea that we're feeding our sickest people our sickest food, and that in all honesty, like healthy people, sick people deserve the best, optimal opportunities for nutrition, and it took us down the path of developing this product. The reason I say that I'm the originator of Heal is because it's something that I started making at home. This is a need story that translated into a product. So what we needed was complete food. What we needed was organic, non-GMO. What we needed and knew Linda deserved was optimal nutrition delivered through natural food forms, coming directly from plants. And knowing that her opportunity for health, her opportunity for healing, and even quality of life would improve if she got those complete food formulas. So I started blending at home and making that for her. And obviously that took time. It took a knowledge base and a lot of commitment. The nice thing about Heal is what we decided is, well, if that's what Linda deserved, so does everybody else. And how can we turn that into something that is not as good as what we're making at home, but even better? And that's where I kind of get into some of the benefits of Heal as a product, and even the way that we formulated and create the product now. So one of the first things that we did is realize that we had to hit a standard. We had to show that we weren't just another protein powder or another plant-based product calling themselves a complete food, or some all-in-one type of product. We wanted to stand out in a few categories. One, we wanted to meet Health Canada's guideline for meal replacement. Two, we did not want to add any synthetic vitamins, minerals, or additives to our product to achieve that goal. And three, we wanted to be something that was plant-based, low impact on the planet, good for most people's digestion, and honestly, the best way of delivering vitamins and minerals naturally to a person through those formulas. So that was the approach we took. We worked with one of the best food scientists in the business. It took about 2 years to get to where we are now, to have a powder that delivers 20 different fruits and vegetables in a format that allows them to get about 50% of all of their vitamins, minerals, and trace elements, their daily recommended doses, from one serving of Heal. So that's a big deal. That's a big step. And to have done that in an optimal way, where your body's going to absorb it, not just pretend that it's getting it. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is that synthetic formulations are designed that way for a reason. I don't like to beat up on other products, but you're going to be comparing us to products like Boost and Ensure. These are synthetic formulations where, yes, they do have fats, proteins, and carbohydrates of some form, but all of their nutritional requirements are being met with synthetic isolate vitamins and minerals. Where does this turn into an issue, is there's a lot of research out there that shows that that has a different rate of absorption, that in actuality, when it's not coming from a plant, it's not even actually the same thing. Iron from spinach is different from an iron supplement. And we knew that our bodies were designed to work with nature. And I think that Spud, caught on to that really quickly in the beginning, and recognizing that obviously there's a convenience factor of delivery, but more importantly, people wanted good quality organic produce getting to their house on the daily, that fresh is important. And then that translates into why our product is a powder. I know that you guys deliver a lot of fresh produce, and you've gotten more into the grocery, but there's some real science behind why Heal is a powder and not a liquid. And that science lives in the land of preserving that nutritional value. Just a quick science lesson. Some of you might already know this, but the minute that you pick a flower, it starts to wilt. Why? Well, because that's nature's way of turning it back into dirt. The minute that is disconnected from its food sources, or water, or its natural connection to earth, it starts to die. The way that breaks down is through oxidation. The an oxidative quality of water starts to attack the plant. It starts to break down. It starts to rot. As we all know, that happens to any kind of vegetation and even animals. And eventually, through that process of decomposition, it turns back into dirt. That's where everything comes from. But what's really cool is if you understand the science of food and you understand the science of decomposition, removing water actually stops that oxidative process. It's why we can give Heal a 2-year shelf life. There's no preservatives put in Heal. It's a 100% food-based formula. If you read the ingredients, you'll see that the only things that are in it are basically the names of different types of fruits and vegetables, and some lactobacillus, which is just to support digestion. It's a probiotic. But really what we discovered was that if we really wanted to meet these guidelines and hit the standard of Health Canada, what we also had to do is find some way of preserving the nutritional value of each of the different ingredients. So in other words, what I was making at home in a blender would quickly turn into something that didn't have any nutritional value. It would need to be pasteurized, heat treated, packaged in a way that actually goes in a contradictory direction to what we were working to achieve, which is nutritional density inside of a very small volume of product. So getting back to it, the freeze drying or the cold processing of turning something that's alive, like a leaf of spinach, into a powder, what we're doing is we're actually putting all that nutritional value, all that fiber, all those fats, all those carbohydrates, all those proteins into a state of stasis. It's all suspended there. And the minute that you add the water, you reactivate it all. It comes back to life. It's never really died, but it's in a stasis, so to speak. That's why it's a powder. Really where the science is going with this, and with some of the people that we're working with to supply some of the product and to hit those marks, is what we realize is that the only way that you're going to actually be able to be consistent in the nutritional values, and we have to hit high and low markers in about 40 different categories of nutrition, is to powder the product and get the water out. So that's why it's a powder. That's what gives it the 2-year shelf life. And that's what allows us to test it at the end of production to be able to prove that it actually hits those same markers that a product like Booster and Sure would meet with a synthetic isolate. So there's a whole different way now of creating these products that we like to allude to as food as medicine. We're literally compounding to a nutritional requirement with plants because it's a powder. If it was a leaf, if it was something we stuck in a blender, there's no way to create consistency. So I think that's very powerful information when you're making comparisons to other products. And even in the category of talking to people that are seeking wellness, this isn't just for sick people. The vegan community is an example, who eat a tremendous amount of plants. If they're not getting the food variety, and if they're not getting hitting all of these daily markers, they can actually step into a position of being malnourished. because they don't have that baseline of nutrition. There's no science behind some of the styles of eating out there. And that, whether that be vegan or whether that be immediate or whether that be a combination of different styles, we don't really judge that. We just know that HEAL gives everybody a baseline of nutrition that's backed by science. And I'd pause there to really focus on it. That food that's met a standard, that's created and backed by science, that allows that to be delivered as a baseline of nutrition for everyone. The sick, the elderly, the athletic, the health conscious, pretty much anyone that's your customer would benefit from HEAL. And arguably, I think that everybody deserves to have it. That I use it in my life, and so do lots of the people that I know and work with for that particular reason. It's just really, really hard to know what you're eating nowadays and to count on getting that nutrition. There's very, very few products on the market that test post-production to prove that their product actually has the nutrition in it that it claims on its label. So that's where we really differentiate. We're an optimal food solution. And really, we have the ability to be a global food solution. And what I mean by that is that human beings are the same. Malnutrition is the same. Illness is the same for everyone. And we truly believe here at HEAL and Fox Foods that the delivery of nutrition the way nature intended is the opportunity not just to heal, but also to prevent illness. So we don't go on record as being a medicine, but we most certainly lean into the common sense idea. And I think Spud in their infancy would agree with me that organic, non-GMO, healthy produce, things that come from earth are our best way to get the nutrition that our body needs to make its own medicine. So I'll kind of pause there. I know I'm going to have an opportunity to do some Q&A specifically with the people at Blushlane. If anyone has any questions and they wanted to reach out to me that's not going to be a part of that training or informational, please reach out to us at info@foxfoods.com. Fox Foods is PHOX. I'd love to hear from you and support you, because really making it again more of a personal message is that this isn't a company that was designed because we wanted to make a lot of money. This is a company that wants to make a lot of money because we want to help a lot of people, and it started with that. It really truly was designed to help somebody that I loved personally, and it's just expanded into what it is today. So again, a lot of gratitude for the opportunity to share HEAL, and excited to talk to some of you in the not too distant future, and know that we consider everybody who sells HEAL, talks about HEAL, buys HEAL. You're all part of our team, because without us collectively, the world just doesn't become a better place. So thanks again, and look forward to talking to you soon.